Okay, so question number 1.
Okay.
It's from Blake. What's your view on the best way to improve your following when you're from an area with no local music scene? Should you try to break through in the nearest city, even though you may struggle to get your immediate friends and family to travel that far?
Yes.
Good one.
It is a good one, yeah. It's a good one because it's all very well, excuse me, it's all very well living in Brighton or London or New York. There's plenty of places to play. In fact, I've just been working on a music industry tour with Bruce and Mark. All will be revealed. We did a trial one down in Brighton, but we're about to put together an actual tour going around the country. Now, what's great is we wanted it to be in the actual tour venues. We didn't want to just go to like community centres. Let's go to proper the tour that bands do. Of course, then you end up looking at all the cities. I ended up doing what I always say, going into the back end of my Facebook. Excuse me. Going into the insights. Going into the insights, going into the people and checking out the biggest cities that people are coming from. And then we started looking, and a big part of my following from the UK, you're looking at Manchester, Leeds, Bristol, Edinburgh, Glasgow, like big cities, which is great. However, as Blake points out, what happens if you're not from those cities? What happens if you've got a band and you live in Telford, which I think is where he's from? Then all of a sudden, you don't have those big music venues. Now, this was a problem back in the day. So I'm from Swansea in South Wales. It was what I would class as a very talented music, when I was growing up, a very talented musical city. There was some fantastic, still are some fantastic musicians there. But they weren't really the outlets to go. So you had to travel, and touring meant in Wales at the time when I was doing it meant travelling to rugby clubs or actual venues that were in kind of an hour's radius. So you're looking at Cardiff, Newport, a bit in Swansea, and then the valleys, all the valleys, going and playing rugby clubs. And that was what we did growing up. We just played those sorts of venues. It becomes quite hard. But now we are in a new time, and we have to not look back at the 2000s and up to 2010 because of consumption and where consumption is. Now, what's important is how we actually get in front of people and how we make friends, build relationships, and actually get people interested. So for the first time ever, I can find, and this happens a lot, I can find out about a band which is in Carolina and think, well, that's really, really good. And I can become a fan, and I can actually still take part in their journey. So it doesn't matter. So I'm a fan of 100 bands that I've never seen live. So does that matter? No, because I can still listen to their stuff. I can still watch videos. I can still be a part of their community. I can still see behind the scenes on what they're doing. So what's really important is the creativity then of how you're going to spread the word. So I don't think you need... I mean, it is always a bonus. I mean, bands do live and die by the strength of their live show. However, I do think things are changing. Whether we like it or not, people are going to be watching this and they're going to be going, it's not the right way. Bands should get out and they should play, and that should be what it's all about. Yeah, fine, but it's not anymore. It's tough because of this thing here and because of this thing here. And so it was the same thing still when I was growing up, and my mate would hand me a CD and go, you got to check these guys out. Now it's the same thing. It's not changed in any way whatsoever, but instead of handing a CD, they just send you a Spotify link. Or they just say, go and check out this band. And you just go onto Spotify. Or Spotify do that for you. Spotify just go, you like this? Why don't you check out this? So there's so many ways of actually getting your name out there. And so then there's this noise issue of everyone's trying to do it, and all of a sudden it highlights just how many people are in the world trying to do this thing. So your job isn't just to put stuff out there. Your job is to be better at this than everybody else. Your job is to find ways of doing stuff like this so that people are going, oh yeah, Turbulence, I keep hearing about them. This is the issue. Yes, you've got to make great music videos. Yes, you've got to actually make great music. Yes, you've got to do that, but then there has to be more. So some point soon, I think it might be last night, there's a video of mine going out about press and PR. Tonight? Last night. Good, I'm on it. And I talked to Claire Lloyd, who's a a press specialist, music industry press specialist, and she talked to a bunch of her friends, and she kind of did these interviews, and I got loads of information. It was absolutely priceless stuff. But what was amazing is the amount of, they want links, they want YouTube, they want Facebook, they want Twitter. They don't just want to hear your music on a CD. They want to just go and see. They want to go and check out the whole thing.
Kind of social products.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter that much. In fact, this is the best time to live in a small village where you've just got one band and a small... it's because it's not about going and talking to people individually and giving them a CD anymore. It's about going and finding your tribe, as Seth Godin would put it. It's about going and finding the people that would like your music. So all of a sudden, it's now completely acceptable to like thrash metal and with a mix of 80s rave. Like you're allowed to do that now. You can put that together because there will be a small selection of people that you can say, you can go and find, and you can talk and you can build a community about it. This is a good time for that. So the key for me isn't going and traveling to the next city. That is good because it's fun. And that is important. And showing off the band as enjoying themselves and having fun and just getting out of the bedroom or the rehearsal room is important. But that is still not going to make a difference until you can get more reach. Because when you're looking at interesting the music industry or actually kicking off algorithms on social media enough to actually pay off, what you need is people talking about you and people hearing about you and people engaging with you. And that's the key. So for me, I'd be putting on gigs anywhere. Just somewhere that sounds good, in a rehearsal room, in a community centre. I'd be inviting my mates down, but I'd be videoing it and I'd be getting that out to the people. Because now you can be in a band anywhere in the world and have fan bases from all over the world. So I'm getting questions now as what we do builds the reach. I'm getting questions from like Serbia, and I'm getting questions from America, and I'm like, these people, what I do, this is not new.
Yeah.
The social media aspect of what I do is a couple of years old. But me doing this and helping bands, I've been doing for 20 years. It's just now I've got a way to actually take this to the masses. Nobody in Serbia would have ever heard of what I did 15 years ago, whereas now they can. Am I going to have to get out on the road? I might do, because I think it's a nice thing to do. Is it key? No, because this is key. Yeah. Camera, me talking to camera, you on the other end of the camera going, good, I'm taking in the information. So there's nothing like a live gig, but it's not feasible all the time. But this is feasible because this is free. This is absolutely free stuff that you can just literally jump on board at any time.
And do you think if you do create a buzz around you with social media and you still were quite desperate to go and start gigging in cities, it's more likely that venues and promoters might come to you anyway?
100%, yeah. Because a question that happens all of the time is, how do I get gigs out of my city?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a weekly question. How am I'm building the following in my city. I can't get traction outside of it. But you need a bit of patience and you need to be able to grow. So one thing you can now do is you can put yourself in a city and start to grow in that area because you can boost videos or posts in that area. Great. But you can also just show off how good you are live and have other cities start to almost have the ripple effect in the pond. Yeah. So, it is patience, but it is starting not with a city. It's starting with this city right here. Yeah. I saw this great picture the other day and said, I love my phone because all my friends are on it. Yeah. And I was like, that sums it up. Yeah. That's what it's all about. Everyone's on phones. So for me, you don't need to be in a city. You just need to be creating something that people want to be a part of.
Right, in the buzz.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then finding ways of getting out there. And that little bit there is the key. That is the punchline. And getting people to engage and hear about you is the distribution side to it. And bands, all of these bands are really, really good at 80%. They're all really, really good at learning their trade, making music, putting a CD out, making, getting on Spotify. But when it actually comes to saying, right, who's going to listen to this? How am I going to get people to buy into this? That's the tough bit. And that's the bit that's hard and boring and takes up time and people don't want to do.
Yeah, as you say, I guess it's all just patience, isn't it? And working away at it.
Patience, but again, there's quite a lot of people online that go, patience. And I'm like, fuck patience. Patience is important.
Yeah.
But only if you're working like an absolute bastard every single day. Then patience key. You can't just be patient. That's just waiting. Patience means absolutely nothing unless you are working like a Trojan horse, literally going hell bent for leather all the way until it happens, making it happen.